Hello guys, before I start, I want to ask you guys a question. Which is greater, the human population of the world or the number of living organisms in the tablespoon of soil? The correct answer is the living organisms in the tablespoon of soil. Now, you may be asking, why, when, and how did that even happen, right? Well, according to the Rainforest Alliance, in Google, with just a tiny tablespoon of soil can have billions to trillions of microorganisms living in there. And that's just a fun fact about soil. And once again everyone, hello and I am Sam Daniel Abon. I am from G11 STEM 1 Group Coral. I know that I am just a student but I dedicated a lot of my time just to research about my topic. And I can assure you that it is 99% accurate. But what exactly is soil resources? Soil is a complex mixture of minerals, water, air, organic matter, and living organisms found in the topsoil. They are formed through various factors, including climate, parental material, and topography. Now let's move on to the role of soil resources in our environment. Soil is the most vital part of our environment because they serve as the foundation of life, providing habitats for animals and other living organisms. They also support plants' growth with nutrients and water. And lastly, they filter and store water. Now, why is soil resources important? Soil resources is the vital and dynamic natural resources essential for sustaining life on Earth. It also acts as a foundation for agricultural. It provides medium for plants to anchor their roots and source of essential nutrients and water that is critical for their growth. It also stores water supplies. It also serves as a massive carbon sink, which is a key factor for regulating Earth's climate. And finally, soil is a teeming habitat for supporting life on Earth. Even though soil resources is important and a vital part of the ecosystem, it still faces challenges, threats, or problems made by natural forces or made by humans. One of it is soil erosion. Soil erosion. Soil erosion is the process where topsoil is being detached or moved from one location to another by natural forces like water and wind, or can also by activities like farming. According to DENR, or Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, 90% of the country's topsoil is being affected by soil erosion. And 2 billion tons of soil is also lost annually by it. Moving on to the impact of soil erosion. One of the impact of soil erosion is the loss of topsoil. Topsoil is the most fertile layer of the soil. It is rich in organic matter and nutrients essential for plant growth. If erosion occurs, it removes this fertile layer, making the land less productive for agricultural purposes. This can also lead to lower crop yields and more reliance on fertilizers. The second is water contamination. Soil often carries pesticides, fertilizers, and other chemicals from agricultural lands. Now, if soil erosion occurs, these pollutants can harm and contaminate the water, can also harm the aquatic lives, and can be unsafe for drinking water and other uses. Now let's move on to quarrying. Quarrying is a process of excavating stone, sand, clay, and other minerals from the Earth's surface to use as a raw material for construction and other purposes. The Philippines Statistics Authority reports that the revenue from the mining and quarrying sector was 230.59 billion pesos in 2021. This is a general figure for the entire sector, not specifically just for quarrying sales alone, more specifically to the entire industry group. Quarrying of stone, sand, and clay. It is projected to have a revenue approximately of $8 million by 2024. Now, let's move on to the benefits of quarrying. There's two benefits of quarrying, the positive benefits and the negative benefits. Let's move first for the positive benefits of quarrying. First is the foundation for infrastructure and development. Quarrying is the primary source of aggregates, which are the fundamental building blocks of modern society. Without these materials, we couldn't build roads, bridges, railways, schools, hospitals, homes, and other essential infrastructure. The next is economic growth and job creation. Quarrying industry is a major economic contributor. It creates direct jobs for thousands of people in both skilled and unskilled positions, often in rural areas. It also supports numerous indirect jobs in related sector like transportation and construction. Quarrying brings money into local economies through investment and purchases of goods and services. And the materials produced contributed significantly to a nation's GDP. And lastly, it supports other industries. Quarried materials are used in more than just construction. They are essential for manufacturing cement, glass, and even certain renewable energy, uh, like, like the foundation for wind turbines. Now, moving on to the negative benefits of quarrying. First is environmental degradation. Quarrying operations permanently alter the landscape, leading to habitat destruction and loss of biodiversity. It can also cause soil erosion, which can increase the risk of landslide and flooding. Next is air and water pollution. The process of blasting, crushing, and transporting rocks creates significant dust, which can cause respiratory problems for people and animals. Runoff from quarries can contaminate nearby water sources with sediment and chemicals, harming aquatic life and ecosystem and affecting water's quality for human use. Lastly, noise pollution. The constant noise from machinery, blasting, and heavy trucks can be a major nuisance for nearby communities, affecting residents' quality of life. Now, before I end this, I want to share with you the quote that the former US President Franklin D. Roosevelt said: "The nation that destroys its soil destroys itself." This quote served as the stark warning for the consequences of environmental neglect, specifically soil degradation. It means that if the nation allows its fertile soil to be depleted and eroded through poor farming practices, deforestation, or other unsustainable land use, it will lose its ability to produce food. And without the foundational resources of healthy soil, the country's agricultural sector will fail, leading to food shortages, economical collapse, and an inability to sustain its population. In And now, everyone, I want you to remember one thing, that our soil is limited. That's why we need to protect and conserve it. I hope you learned something, and thank you for listening.